Hello and good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to explain something to you regarding to your message in the chat box. I don't get your point. You mean that I should replace the classes in the Ramadan by end of the Ramadan? What do you mean exactly? Alright, if you mean postpone, because today is the 10th class, so we have only the other two sessions, okay? The next session, I think it's cancelled by the WWS. I don't know, did you receive the email from WWS or no? Because today I received the email that they mentioned the class is cancelled from 18th of August till 24th of August, alright? So our class in the 20th of August is cancelled, alright? So just we have another two class that both of them are will held after Ramadan. But about the last classes that we have in the Ramadan, I cannot replace them, alright? About today, we have three students and I don't know. I can postpone or no because I think before the session started, I should arrange with WWS. But I think before Ramadan, also a student didn't attend very well. So uh, in my side, I think Ramadan isn't the problem. The problem is from the student that they cannot arrange their time with my classes. All right. Um, I think because at the beginning of the Ramadan, so the student just suggests me that please change the timetable, all right, from I think 6 to 8, change it to 4 to 6. Then I change the timetable of the class, all right? If you cannot attend the classes during the Ramadan, you should, inform me before this. But you just asked me to change the timetable and I did it. But after that, again, nothing special happened. And although the student that asked me to change the timetable, they never attend the class too, alright? So I think today we should have our class and the last two sessions, the other two classes that we have together after Ramadan. Then the classes will be finished. This is my suggestion. Maybe you are right. In the Ramadan, you cannot attend the class and you don't have any energy or I don't know, some problem you have. But it's better if you inform me and WWS before beginning the Ramadan. But the student just asked me to change the timetable. Don't ask me to replace the classes in the Ramadan. So because of this reason, we can continue our class today and then uh, the other two class after Ramadan. About today, I don't know what happened to Mr. Nazari because today he's the presenter. Uh, I don't know, Mr. Nazari, can you hear me? Because today we have 3 presenters, but only I received the email from one of them. Mr. Nazari sent me the slide, and depends on Mr. Nazari. If Mr. Nazari agreed to postpone and doesn't have any slides today to present, I don't know what happened to him because now I cannot connect to him. If you can connect, call, or I don't know, SMS to Mr. Nazari and ask him what happened to him, then we can decide about today. Right. Again, hello and good evening, everyone. I think we have 4 of the students, and now we can start our class. So today, Mr. Samad Nazari is presenter. So if Mr. Nazari ready, I can pass the presenter to her and then to him, and then he can start his presentation.
I should click share my desk.
Just now I make you as a presenter, then you can share your slides, okay?
Okay, okay.
All right, now Mr. Nazar, you are presenter, you can share your slides.
Okay, sure. Can you see the slide?
Yes, just make it as a full screen.
Sorry, I couldn't get. Pardon, I didn't understand what you said.
All right. First, you maximize your window, this window that now open, and then make it full screen. The slide is very small. You go to the option that change the. Yes.
Now it is okay?
I think you can make it. All right, Mr. Nazari, in the below of your window, okay, at the below right, near to the right at 68%. All right, here there is 3 icons. I think you should press the first one.
The first one?
Yeah, a slideshow, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now. Thank you. You can start now. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. By the name of God, I would like to start my presentation. The title of my research proposal is Strategic and Effective Project Management of Agriculture Sector in Afghanistan. Background of the study. First, I would like to talk about project management. What is projects? What is project management? What is strategic project management? And to be familiar with these terminology, and then I will continue my presentation. Project management. What is a project? A project is a sequence of unique, complex, and connected activities having one goal or purpose, and that must be completed by a specific time within budget and according to specification. The next one, what is project management? Project management is the discipline of planning, organizing, securing, managing, leading, and controlling resources to achieve specific goals, while an effective project management is how to plan, manage, and deliver projects on time and within budget. A strategic management is the process of managing the pursuit of organizational mission while managing the relationship of the organization to its environment. Strategic management is the management of those projects which are critical importance to enable the organization as a whole to have competitive advantage. The goal of strategic project management is...
Excuse me, Mr. Nazari.
Yes.
Can you change your slides when you read it?
Oh, sorry. I'm very sorry. Yeah. I am so sorry. I was reading from notes, so
all right, it's okay, no problem. All right, okay.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Strategic project management is the management of those projects which are critical importance to enable the organization as a whole to have competitive advantage. The goal of strategic project management is linking project process and techniques to a more comprehensive understanding of the business context and environment. Project management recognizes that delivering high value requires project managers to go beyond the usual definition of success, which are typically limited to time, scope, and budget. The traditional approach, it includes 5 steps: initiation, planning and design, executing, monitoring and evaluation, and then closing of the project. The traditional approach continues typical development phases of project. It's I already mentioned initiation, planning and design, execution and construction, monitoring and controlling systems, and then the last one is completion. Why use project management? In today's competitive business environment, a flexible and responsive approach to changing consumer requirements is very essential. Project management has been growing and spreading rapidly in recent years because projects exist in all human organizations, and project accounts for a large portion of business practices today. Project management enables us to focus on priorities, track performance, overcome difficulties, and adapt to change. It gives you more control and provide proven tools and techniques to help you lead teams to reach objectives on time and within budget. Organizing activities to a project may be time-consuming initially, but in the long term, it will save time, effort, and reduce the risk of failure. The next title is Agriculture Project Management. Agriculture Project Management is the process that assures every aspect of product development is evaluated and action taken to minimize both time and cost, time in bringing a product to the marketplace. Rural development, relationship between agricultural and rural development, economic and social project, basic needs approach, project and program, project cycle, identification and preparation, target groups and project preparation. Construction of database, techniques of preparation, methods of project formulation, cost and benefits, methods of appraisal, basic techniques of accounting and financial control for the production in social projects, choice of technology, program and appraisal, implementation and management, time and cost control, organizational design. Project management in agriculture sector. Project management shows you have to plan, run and monitor a project and explain what to do if things go wrong. It contains a wealth of straightforward expert advice on scheduling and budgeting, management and communicating information, planning activities, and developing leadership skills to ensure successful completion of all your projects. Agriculture in Afghanistan. Agriculture is essential in establishing a stable and prosperous society in Afghanistan. The country has been devastated by conflict over the past 3 years and by several years of drought from 1992 to 2002. Prior to this period of drought and war, 70 to 80% of the country population was engaged in agriculture. Agriculture sector play a major role in the economy of the country. In fact, it is the backbone of the economy of the country. About 12% of the land is arable and less than 6% currently is cultivated. Normally, Afghanistan grew about 95% of its need in wheat and rye, and more than meet its needs in rice, potato, pulses, nuts, and seeds. It depends on imports only for some wheat, sugar, and edible fat and oils. Fruit, both fresh and preserved with bread, is a staple food for many Afghans. Agriculture products accounted for about 53% of Afghanistan export, of which fruits and nuts were a large portion. In some regions, agriculture production had all but seeds due to the destruction caused by the war and the migration of Afghan people to the neighboring countries, Iran and Pakistan. Problem statement of the study. It is required to make a comprehensive program to manage agriculture projects in Afghanistan under a very thought out manner. Ways are required to manage the irrigation system in Afghanistan. Ways are required to manage the labor and utilization of labor per hectare of the land. Find out ways how to manage the distribution structures of the agriculture product in Afghanistan. Investigate about the required machinery for the efficient production of the agriculture product in Afghanistan. Keeping in view the traditional method, it is required now to manage the agriculture projects in a new dimension. Security remains a hurdle in implementing agriculture projects in Afghanistan. Local community farmers' support is also essential for successful implementation of projects in order to provide better agriculture services to the needy farmers on time and to be able to solve their what problem they are facing. Objective of the study: to start basic education in the field of agriculture at high school level in Afghanistan. Second, to develop a skilled workforce in the field of agriculture in Afghanistan in the coming 10 to 12 years. Third, to provide electricity to the far-off areas of Afghanistan by hydel, wind, thermal, nuclear, of any other means. To provide fertilizer to the farmers on time, on subsidized rate. Fifth, to provide microfinance facility to the farmers at the time of farming whenever they need for financial support. Sixth, to arrange periodic training workshops for the farmers on the production of various crops. Seven, to provide state-of-the-art agro-machinery to the farmers on easy installment basis. To build cold storage in order to safeguard against the wastage of perishable products. Question of the study. First, whether skilled workforce is available in Afghanistan. Second, whether the farmers have enough financial resources to grow enough in Afghanistan. Third, whether means of transporting agro-based product is available to the local markets of Afghanistan. Fourth, how to safeguard perishable products from being wasted in Afghan markets. Fifth, whether electricity is available in most parts of the country or not. Activities of strategic and effective project management of agriculture sector in Afghanistan. The purpose of the strategic and effective project management of agriculture sector in Afghanistan is to assist Afghanistan to first, to deliver a more effective demand-driven agriculture project-based service to producer and other rural clientele in selected areas of the country. Second, focus on professional development training. Third, increase public accessibility to and use of agriculture business project management services. Fourth, develop training modules and educational material based on high priority needs. Fifth, prepare future skilled personnel. Sixth, encourage a pluralistic approach to extension that responds to farmer needs for research-based technologies that is built upon the innovation of Afghanistan farmers. And seven, promote coordination among the various entities providing agriculture project-based services to the local community farmers or to the beneficiaries. Accomplishment of strategic and effective project management of agriculture sector in Afghanistan. First, it will help us in settling a skilled workforce structure in Afghanistan. Second, it will help us in introducing Afghan products into foreign countries, I mean to the international markets. Third, it will increase agriculture products in Afghanistan for the local market, for the national consumer. Four, it will open gates for research and development in the field of agriculture. Fifth, it will help in strengthening the irrigation system in the country. Sixth, it will empower the local farmers to contribute in the national development. Seven, it will connect the banking system with the agriculture sector. Eight, Afghanistan will soon become self-sufficient and will be counted in those countries which can export agriculture products worth millions of dollars. That's the end. Thank you very much. If there is any question, please.
Thank you, Mr. Nazari. Okay, if dear student, you have
You
any
are
question, you can
welcome.
ask Mr. Nazari first, then I will ask him. All right, dear student, do you have any question from Mr. Nazari? You can ask now. If no, I can start my comment. All right, I think the student doesn't have any question right now. All right. Okay, Mr. Nazar, thank you for your presentation. It's a good start
You are
for your.
welcome.
All right, it's a good start for your research proposal, but it's better if you focus on project management more, because as I see your presentation now, it's something like a report on agriculture about agriculture of Afghanistan. Okay, about a project management system for agriculture in Afghanistan. You need first you have select the model, all right, because you now only present the project management, traditional project management. Can you go to this slide now? I think it's 7 slide, I think.
Yes.
All right. Okay, here you mentioned that this is the traditional approach for project management, yes?
Yes.
All right. If you mention this is a traditional approach, so maybe everyone asks, okay, what is the new one? What is the modern one? All right. So you can answer as a two-way. The first one you can say, okay, the traditional approach is enough for my research proposal, and I select this model for my research proposal. Or you can answer that, all right, there is another model that maybe I will focus on that. Okay, now I don't know which model do you want to focus on it.
Thank you very much for your question. It is very valid question. I mean traditional. I think this is what can I see? It is a normal approach. So it is normal. I mean traditional. Maybe here the meaning is traditional, but I mean it is very common. So
All
we
right.
start from initiation, planning, design, execution, monitoring, and evaluation and closing. Yeah. These are
Okay, so you mean this is your selected model for your project management agriculture in Afghanistan. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay.
It can be applied for any other project. It can be applied for any other project.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. All right. Continue.
So I say that this is a normal approach. So it can be applied in other fields also, but in each field maybe slight difference, and so different methodology or different steps for implementation.
This is your model now, yes? This is your model now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you choose this model as your model for your research proposal for agriculture in Afghanistan. Okay. So because you choose the agriculture, all right. So you should always talk about project management agriculture. Okay. For example, you can say for project management of agriculture in Afghanistan, we should focus on planning more. Or, for example, you can say, no, we need to focus and make a suggestion and recommendation and solution for all these five parts of the model. Okay, so I mean, my point is that you should talk about this model during your research proposal. Because the research, academic research like this, you first choose the model, all right, or you should choose the theory, okay, based on your research. Because your research, I think the model better for you. Not you don't need that theory, okay. So because it's a practical one, it's not a conceptual research, all right. This is your model, all right. So during your research proposal, always you should talk about this. If you want to investigate agriculture, so you should talk about agriculture in Afghanistan based on this model. Not only talk about agriculture in Afghanistan, because if you want to talk only about agriculture in Afghanistan, that means the about report on agriculture in Afghanistan, okay? But your subject is effective and strategic project management of agriculture. So this is very important point that for the start, this presentation is very good, but I think all of these slides can be only part of your background in chapter 1, as you give us the map about the agriculture in Afghanistan. That is very good because you have a good information about agriculture. But for the rest of your research, you should analyze the project management of agriculture in Afghanistan. Okay, just give me a slide about what is the project management, or why we should use project management. You cannot mention these information in your research, because your research is not about the benefits of project management. It's not only about the agriculture in Afghanistan. It's about the connection between the project management and agriculture. All right. So you shouldn't talk about only project management separately and only agriculture in Afghanistan separately. You should always talk about both of them. In your research question, in your problem statement, in your objective, in your research review, all right? In all parts of your research, you should connect these together. Connect effective and strategic project management to agriculture of Afghanistan. This is the very main key in your research that I want you to pay attention to this. Okay, can you get my point?
Yes, thank you very much for your suggestion. It is well taken. I realize now how to continue in the future. So I will
all right.
put effort on the effective project, effective strategic and effective project management in agriculture sector in Afghanistan. So I mean, after these cycle initiation, and at the end when we close the project, then of course after this project we learn lesson, and then we make suggestion, recommendation for the implementation or planning of the future projects of agriculture. So yeah, this was thank you very much, but your points were well taken. Yeah, I realize my weakness, and then in place where I should make myself correct. Yeah.
Yeah, you can make this research proposal better if you scrutinize and analyze it carefully, the project management. I ask you that to pay attention to this job. Now your job is, for example, that you go and see how is the planning and design in the agriculture of Afghanistan, okay? How is the executing of agriculture in Afghanistan? How is monitoring and evaluation, all right? All the part of the project management, how is it in the agriculture? When you want to go and see if you want to go to do your interview, or if you want to do for your data collection, always ask yourself that this is about project management and agriculture together or no. Don't pay attention and focus to the information that only for one of them, all right? And this is the point that I think now you can go, it's better if you go and see how is every part of this model in agriculture. That way you can see the both of them. You can see the agriculture and project management together. This is one point. Another point about your subject. Can you?
Excuse me. Here, I would like to say something that we are establishing or strengthening coordination and cooperation among farmers, local community farmers, and stakeholders. What we do, we first carry out a survey. For example, in one district, if we focus on one district, and then we find out how many agencies, organizations are working in agriculture sectors, districts, and which activities, what are their activities, what is their plan and program for implementation. And then again, after we complete our study, then we finish our report, then we hold a workshop, and then we invite everyone. Then we read our reports, our findings, and then if there is something missing, and then we make correction. And then next meeting, coordination meeting, we all together, jointly, we are making action plan. Since agriculture is a seasonal activity, then we make action plan, for example, which activities will be done in which month and which season of the year. And then everyone say their plan and program, and then we make a joint action plan. And then after we follow each month or after 3 months monitoring workshop, and then again we invite every stakeholder, and then everyone report based on the action plan we already made. Everyone make their report, and then if there is some problem, mistake, or if they have not done their work, and then we ask for what was the problem, and then we together decide how we could solve this problem. And then if some places remain, and in some places farmers are not receiving any support, then we discuss, then we decide to expand our activities, cover other villages or other areas also. So this kind of, we make a joint action plan, and we do monitoring and evaluation together, and then we are making decision on problem and making together finding solution for the problem. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. You mean that as this way that you explain now, you can have a very comprehensive data collection, all right? So this is very good. This is the positive point for your research, because at this way you can connect to the farmer association, everything that you need, and you can data collect very well. But this is your job, and this is your art, that you can connect this data collection to the project management model, all right? Don't just mention, don't, because when you do this data collection, maybe you can make lots of conclusions, maybe you can make lots of suggestions to them. But also you should, because this is the academic research, so it's very good if you can focus on your model also, as well as you make suggestion and conclusion and every of this, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay. And then can you go to the first slide that you mentioned the name of your research proposal, the title? Okay.
Yeah, this is maybe instead of report, if I should say, this is a research proposal on strategic and effective project management.
No, doesn't need. I want to. This is my idea, but it depends on you. But I think it's better if you don't mention project report on a strategic and effective project. Just mention a strategic and effective project management of of agriculture sector in Afghanistan. That's enough. Doesn't need to mention project report on something, because when you say project report, it shows that this is very, very practical. You do this for some organization because you want to make the report. You know, the sense from the word of report, it's not very academic, okay, at this step. So I think it's better if you mention just a strategic and effective project management of agriculture sector in Afghanistan, okay? I mean, you omit the project report, all right? But it depends on you. If you like it, you can put it. And then can you go to the slide of your problem statement? The slide. Okay, continue problem. Okay, here you see the problem statement of the study. You should talk about the problem, but these are the problem. You mentioned the problem, which is very good, but you make the sentences as an objective. Okay, for example, you said that it is required to make a comprehensive program. This sentence means you give them the solution, you give them the suggestion. Okay, so the problem should be something like this. For example, lack of manage of irrigation system in Afghanistan, for item 2, for example. Or for number 3, you say days are required to manage the labor and utilization of labor per hectare of the land. Okay, you can make a change to this, for example, lack of manage of labor and utilizing of labor per hectare. Do you get my point? You should change the sentences into problem statement. All right, can you get? Is it clear for you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because
yeah, well taken. Yeah, thank you very much.
Because these sentences, the problem is clear, but the way of the writing your sentences is not like the problem statement. This is the point.
Like
and another thing,
it looks like a sentence. Yes.
It's like you should mention sentence as this problem statement, but it's like the conclusion. It's like a suggestion, okay? But in the problem statement, always we talk about the lack of something, poor in something. You know, the sentences show more problems, okay? And then in the okay, this I told you about the problem statement. And go to the option A. Can you go to the next slide? For example, here, number 8. Look at the number 8. You mentioned that local community farmer support is also essential for successful implementation. This is exactly the suggestion and conclusion. You mentioned that farmer support, and then you mentioned essential for successful implementation. This is exactly the sentences that you should use in your conclusion. It's not the problem statement, okay? So I think if you want, you can go and see the slide that I present about the problem statement, objective, and research question. Again, review them, and then come back to your slide and rewrite them again. Maybe as this way you can write them as a better way, okay? Because also about objective and question, research objective and research question, I think you should rewrite them because for objective, for research question, you mentioned 5 main research questions. If you go to the research question slide, I can show you. Here, question of the study is very good because you mentioned the 5 main questions of your study. But for your objective, because always I told you that, I told a student that research question and research objective are the two sides of one coin, are the two sides of one mirror, alright? So when you mention five the main question, it's better that your objective also become to the five main category, because your objective, some of them are detail and you can put them under the other one, okay? So for objective also you can make it in 5 or 6 objectives that they are the main, alright? Don't mention any detail as objective. This is for research objective, okay? For research question also I told you. And the other thing,
it is well taken. Thank you very much.
alright. Okay, that's it, I think. Okay, and then when about the model, all right, when you want to analyze your model, your suggested model for agriculture in Afghanistan, in your last part of your research proposal, I think in the conclusion or suggestion part, tell us that which part of the model should be more focused and why this part of the model is more important. You know, explain about something like this. And all right, I think that's all. Your presentation very good start for your research. But always think about the project management and agriculture Afghanistan together. That's the key point. Thank you very much. Now, if the student has any question, they can ask you now.
Thank you very much for your good suggestion and comments. It is well taken. Yeah, it helped me a lot how to make correction. I will go through again, and then whatever you suggested, I will try to improve it. Thank you very much for your.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I appreciate, really appreciate.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, now okay, and if you mind, I can share your slides with the other student or no? About your presentation, also Mr. Akmal, because Mr. Akmal had presentation last week. Do you want to share your slides with the other student or no? Mr. Akmal and Mr. Nazari. All right. Okay. So Mr. Akmal told that he's agree. All right. So because every session I email the slides to the student, but about today and last session I don't know. I wasn't sure about your decision. So I will email your presentation slides to the rest of the class. Okay. And the other thing. Okay. Do you have any question from Mr. Nazari or no? All right. Okay. And I think we have one new student, Mr. Takal. Can you hear me? Okay, I don't know Mr. Takal can hear me or no, but I ask you, Mr. Takal, that send me your research proposal and make sure that you are in the October semester. I mean, your intake is in October. I'm not sure that Okay. All right. Because I'm not sure you should attend this class or no, and how, because I didn't have any information about you. So this is my email. Please email me your background and research proposal, the subject, the title of your research. Okay, if you have, you can email to me, all right? And about Mr. Quest Sharaf, your research proposal is about financing, I think. So have you started with your supervisor or no? Okay. And do you want to have a presentation in our class, or you don't want? Mr. Sharaf, because your field is not a strategic management, your research is about financing. So it depends on you. If you want, you can make your presentation in our class and take the comments. And if you don't mind, you can do with your supervisor only. Okay, if you want to present, so please send me your research proposal, and then I can make the appointment for you for the presentation, because just 2 weeks left, okay? And then I should arrange the student. All right, thank you. Just let me know that what is your research proposal? Because one time you sent to me your research proposal, so I have the old one. If you do anything new and you edit it or you revise your research proposal, please send me again, and I will let you which week you will present your presentation. Okay, your slide. Okay, and all right, if you don't have any other question, I can present some slides for you about how to write and analyze the report. All right. Now I'm sharing this slide. Okay, because I want to present these slides last session, but last session we don't have enough time because we have two presenters. We had two presenters, so this is not session 9. Today is session 10. All right. Writing and presenting your project report. So can you see my slide? All of you, can you see my slide?
Yes, yes, we can see. Session 9, writing and presenting your project report.
All right. What about Mr. Ismail Shahibzadeh? Sahibzada, sorry. Mr. Ismail, can you see my slide? Oh, I don't know. Mr. Shahibzada, can you sign out and sign in again? Or ask the rest of the students what should you do? Because the rest can see. Yes, because the other students, Mr. Akmal, Mr. Nazari, all can see. Okay, just wait a moment for Mr. Said, alright, and then I start my slide. Mr. Sharaf, I answer your question. I didn't. Okay. All right. Let me answer Mr. Sharaf, and then I will start the presentation. Maybe during this time, Mr. Ismail also join us. Okay, Mr. Sharaf, the format of the slides, it depends on the student. I didn't mention any specific format for the presentation of the student, but in your presentation, first you should mention your topic, and then you should give us the background of your topic, okay? And also talk about your research problem, research question, and objective of your research. But the rest of the slides, it depends on you. You want to give us a table or, for example, numbers, calculation, depends on you. But just give us the overview of your research. What's your topic, problem, objective, or if up to now you can get some suggestion and you can get some conclusion, give them. All right, that's all. Not a specific format. Okay, it depends on you, but in your slide you should include this information. Thank you. I hope you can get my point. Is it clear for you? All right, you are welcome. Okay, Mr. Ismail, can you see the slides now? All right. Okay, today I think we have another presenter, Mr. Zargun, but he had some problem for preparation the slides. Okay, no problem. You can postpone your presentation and just email to me that which date is suitable for you, okay? And today I will present the slides. Mr. Ismail, because the rest of the students can see the slides and they are ready, okay, so I start my presentation. Maybe after 1 or 2 seconds you can see it again, okay? All right, writing and presenting your project report. Okay, today I want to give you again the overview and again summarize of whatever that I present to you before, okay? Getting a start with writing, practical hints. The first one is create time for your writing. This is very important. You know that you should know that when you want to start and when you want to finish this research. Okay, write when your mind is fresh. Of course, this is very clear. Find a regular writing place. Set goals and achieve them. Use word processing. Generate a plan for the report. Finish each writing session on a high point. All right. Get friends to read and comment on your work. From this point, the most important thing first, the time limitation. Okay, you should know about the time. The other thing I want you to pay attention to this is about the regular writing place, because you know the research, I mean the academic research that you want to do it, it's like something like art, okay? So when you always go in a regular place and think about your research, you can create it, you can create the idea. Because I don't you to just write something like report, something like that. You just collect the data from website, from the books, from the magazine. No. After you collect all of them, after you read the article, but this is your job to create something new, something that's never published before, okay? Maybe it is only the one model, maybe it is only two suggestions in two sentences, but it is new. This is your job that you do it, okay? So I ask you to pay attention to your research more. So something that can help you at this way, of course, when you are fresh, you can write, when you have a regular place for writing your research, you have focus on this, you know, something like this. And the other key point for your research, always think about that who can read your research proposal and give you comments, okay? When you are at the work, always you can talk about your research proposal with your colleagues. When you go to the party, you can talk about it with your family member that you know they have some knowledge about your research proposal. Always think about that you do something new. So if you get more points, more idea, more comments from the other people, you can improve your research. So this is very important that, for example, one time you present in the class, so you have my comments, you have your classmates' comments, in the office, everywhere. Every person that you think he or she can help you and give you more comments, you can ask him or her to read your research proposal, because the people think in different way. So my idea is not same as your idea is not same as the other one. Okay, so it is very important, because maybe sometimes you read, for example, one article with 20 pages. Okay, at the end you cannot get the point of this article, but maybe when you ask someone that is expert in this subject, only by 5 minutes you can get the whole idea of this article, and you can get the whole point that can help you to improve your research. So always, because now you are in the MBA level, okay, so now you are someone, some academic person, okay, so always think about share your knowledge with others. You help them and they help you, all right? This is the very good point for your research proposal, how to make it improve. Okay, structuring your research report. This is the suggested structure. When you want to write your final report, it's very good that your report, your research has abstract, okay, has introduction, has its literature review, method, results, discussion, conclusion, references, and appendices, okay? For abstract, I think one paragraph, maybe one page is enough, because sometimes the people just read the abstract and then understand that this research is useful for them or no. And then introduction, always I talk about introduction. Introduction is in chapter 1, okay, something like background, introduction. Literature review can be in your chapter 2, all right, and method results can be something like methodology of your research. It can be in third chapter, and discussion and conclusion can be in 5 or 4 chapter, okay? Because sometimes the methodology of your research, some people divide them to 2 parts, chapter 3 and chapter 4, collect them and then analyze them, and then chapter 5 just conclusion. It depends on you. But some people put data analyzing and collection all together in 1 chapter. It means chapter 3 and then the conclusion, chapter 4. My suggestion is, I think 5 chapters is better, Mr. Sharaf, all right? The first one is introduction, the second is literature review, third methodology, 4 analyzing, and 5 conclusion. But it depends on your research. You can do it in 4 chapter also, no problem. It depends on you. You can put it in 4 chapter or 5 chapter. Because you are at the master degree, something like this, so 4 chapter also is okay, no problem. Okay, writing for different audiences. Okay, key differences between an academic report and a consultancy or management report. This is very, very important for you because you are all of you work in in organization or company or something like this. So it is very important that you know that if you want to prepare the report for the academic area, like now that you should write the research for the WWF as academic, as a place that want to give you the certificate of MBA, how you should manage your report. And if you want to write the report for your organization, for your company, as a, for example, a consultancy report, what you should write in it, okay? So as an academic report tends to be longer, will be marked and graded, will contain contextual description, okay? So when you write the research for the academic, when you put in more pages, you make it longer, you talk about details, it's better, okay? Because it's what they want to mark you and grade, all right? So every detail you should mention, okay? And it has a contextual description. You should have a specific format for it, all right? But for the consultancy report, has less focus on the development of theory, contains recommendations relating to the organization's business. This is very clear. When you arrange your report for the consultancy, okay, they don't need to know about what is the model in your research, what is your theory in the research. They just want to know what is your suggestion, what is your conclusion, how they can solve the problem. All right. So now, as today you see the presentation. So for the academic research, for example, for Mr. Nazari, he mentioned the model, question objective, question research, problem statement, and I asked him that please more focus on the model and analyze your model and something like this, because this is the research academic, okay, academic research. But when you want to talk about the research in the as a consultant, okay, so it doesn't matter that you put which model on which theory. They just ask you what is the conclusion. So if Mr. Nazari, for example, go to the some places, some organization related to the agriculture, they don't pay attention that which model he takes. Just they ask, okay, what's the suggestion for improving the project management in the agriculture of Afghanistan? All right, that's all. So for consultancy, doesn't need to talk about theory and model, just talk about the recommendation, okay, what you have for this company. Okay, report structure, the abstract. Okay, how write the abstract? All right, four short paragraphs that answer the question. Okay, I told you one paragraph also enough, but now this is, I said, 4 short paragraphs, something like 1 page. Okay, so from 1 paragraph to 4 paragraphs. But in your abstract, you should answer this question. The first one, what were my research questions and why were they important? How did I go about answering the research question? What did I find out in response to this question? And what conclusion can be drawn? So when you write the abstract of your research, first you should talk about your research question and talk about that why these questions are important. Second, you should talk about that how you want to answer this question, means that how your methodology. And then 3, how you want to find out the question. Okay, this analysis, and then talk about your conclusion, that what conclusion can be drawn. About the introduction part, the research question and a clear statement of research objective, brief background, and a guide to the storyline. All right. In the first chapter, it means I mentioned that you should put your introduction, background, research question, research objective, and problem statement. And here also mention these items. And in the literature review, to set your study in the wider context to show how your study supplements existing work, okay? So in the literature review, it means second part, you should mention these 2 options. Results, chapters, purpose, okay? To report the facts your research discover, to support that fact with quotes from participants. So, of course, in the result chapter, you should talk about and report the facts that your research discover. Okay, fine. And in the discussion chapter, maybe the last chapter in your research, you should to interpret the result and relate the findings to the original research goals and objectives to indicate implications of the research. All right, so in your last part of your research, you should relate your data, your analysis to the research questions, to the research objective. All of them, you should relate them to each other, okay? So it means chapter 5, you should relate all data and information you discover in chapter 3 and 4 to the chapter 1. What is your research and research objective and something like this. So it means that last chapter is the show the relationship between the last 4 chapters, okay? This is research structure again. Okay, conclusion chapter. To answer the research question, to meet the research objective, to consider the findings, to present any contribution to the topic displayed in the literature, to reflect any implication for future research. Again, mention that in the conclusion, you should mention all these points, all right? Okay, and for references, okay, for references, you can use different method to citation of your study, okay? Use a convention that is accepted by your university, because it depends on your organization and university that they want to give you the certificate. Some of them tell, for example, for referencing only you should use APA method, okay, or Harvard method, okay. But for WWS, I think they accept the Fairness method for referencing. Doesn't matter. You can use Harvard and you can use APA. And again, I will check with them. All right. And cite all sources referred to in the text, and check all citations to prevent plagiarism. About plagiarism, I said in the first session for you that whatever you copy or you mention exactly from the article or from the book, you should put in the quotation, and at the end of the page you should mention at the footer, or right in the footer, and of course at the end in the referencing again you should refer. All right, if you don't do this, it means that flag with them. Don't you think that just change one or two words of something, it means that you change it totally? No. It's better if you put the whole idea, the whole sentence exactly put in the quotation. Okay? About appendices, okay, you should attach all the tables, all the, for example, questionnaire, all the things that you use during your research, you should attach it at the end of your research. Okay, so appendices include only essential supporting material, include copies of interviews, schedules, and keep appendices to minimum. Okay, organization, the report content, main points to consider. So as overview again, choosing the title, telling a clear story, helping the reader by dividing your work, previewing and summarizing chapters using suitable tables and graphics and graphs, and writing in a suitable style. So, of course, when you want to write your research, again and again, I mentioned that you should choose the very clear title, and you should talk about all the things in every detail in your research, because research is something like a story. Okay, you should begin from the first point and then end it by the conclusion. You should tell about all things happened during this research. Okay, and then of course if you for example, for every chapter, if you do some summarizing at the end of the chapter, and in the beginning of each chapter, you give again some abstract of this chapter, it is very good for reader of your research, because they can understand better your research. Here also said that using previewing and summarizing chapter. Okay. Again, key points: clarity and simplicity. Avoid jargon. Okay, you should write very clear, very simple, checking grammar and spelling, preserving anonymity. Okay, regularly revising each draft. All right. About the research, when you send your research to me, I just look at your research as the whole content. I give my comments based on the content of your research. I don't check the spell. I don't check your grammatical thing. All right. So when you want to see when you want to send the last and final research, you should do it yourself, or for example, you can give to the some place, and some people do this editing the research and project. They do this sometimes, so they should check your research and check it for grammar problem and also spelling, and also they have some software that they check the plagiarism of your research, and all things you should do and then send to WWS. And for oral presentation that now you are doing, 3 key stages: first, planning and preparation. First, you should have a plan and prepare your research, then use of visual aids, and then presenting. Okay, so the summary of this, we can say writing is a creative process and a powerful way to clarifying your thinking. Of course, when you write something, it means that you record your thinking. When you don't write, it means no one can understand what you think. Okay, so a project report needs a clear structure that helps you helps to develop the storyline. Alright, all information should be readily accessible to the reader. So you need to have a structure for your writing, your research, that always talk about the structure, and also your information in your research should be something that it should be accessible for the reader. Use a clear writing style, free and check for spelling and grammatical errors. Be prepared to rewrite the first draft several times. Remember to check the assessment criteria. Okay, always I ask you that don't be in hurry and don't be rushed that to finish your research. The first one that I call it research proposal, or for example draft of your research proposal. It is very important, because if your first chapter is okay and it will be good and complete, then you can do your research very well. The first step very important. If your first step is not okay, it's not correct, so the next step also cannot be correct as well. Failing to prepare for your presentation is preparing to fail. Visual aids help the audience understand your presentation. So also remember to tell them what you are going to say it, tell them what you said. When you want to present, it is better that at the beginning of your presentation, first tell the audience that what do you want to talk about it, then talk about it, and again at the end of the presentation, again you tell them that what did you talk about, okay? Tell them what did you say. Okay, now I think it's finished. If you have any question, you can ask me now. Alright, dear students, if you have any question about this slide, you can ask me now. I hope these slides are useful for you and you can get some information and new idea about your research. Okay, again, I want to mention that that the next class is cancelled by WWS regarding to Eid al-Fitr ceremonies and holidays. Okay, so today is 13th of August, so next class will be in 20th of August, that cancelled. Alright, so we have the class again in the next 2 weeks, okay? Because I mentioned in the chat box also, all the classes, not only research methodology, all the classes during 18th of August to 24th of August, all cancel, okay? Wait. Okay, and now, as you see in the chat box, 18th of August till, till 24. Because my keyboard, bottom 2 doesn't work. I asked one of you to write this in the chat box and again send to everyone. 18 to 24 of August. The classes are canceled. Alright, so next week we don't have any class. And again, I think in 20, okay, thank you. Yes, Mr. Takal, would you please send to everyone, not privately? Right, 18 to 24 of August, all the classes canceled. Thank you. So I will arrange the presentation for the student again, and I will email to you. And the last two classes that we have, I mean session 11 and session 12, this is a very good chance for you because these two classes all are after Ramadan. Ramadan finish, so you have enough time, you have energy, and you can review my slides, all the presentation, and that I sent to you, review them during this holiday. And then if you have any question, any problem about the slides that I present to you or about your research, you can ask me in these two classes that we have, because only we have another two classes, and this is the last chance for you to review the lesson and ask me the question, okay? Okay, thank you, Mr. Taka. So if you have any other question, you can ask me now. Okay, Mr. Takal, no, the topic will be selected by you. I don't suggest any topic to the student, okay? So all the students choose their topic themselves. But for example, if you want to have a topic in a specific area, for example, you want to do something in, for example, in strategic management, in field of, for example, entrepreneurship, or for example, something in yes, critical success factor, something like this. So I can suggest you the topic, but the whole idea should be from your side, okay? And most of the students, they choose the topic themselves, and then they send to me, and sometimes I just make some correction, make some comment on them, on their topic, and then they finalize their topic after that. But the whole idea of that, what you want to do, it depends on you, because this is your research, and you should do something that you have high desire, and you should do your research in some area that you can collect the data, the information you have accessible, accessible information, okay? So I cannot suggest to you what you want, what do you write about, okay? Just I can make some correction or comments on your topic. All right. If you don't have any other question, we can finish our class now. Okay, I hope you have very good time in during Eid al-Fitr holiday, and don't forget to pray for me in this month in Ramadan, and I hope you have a very good holiday. Thank you everyone, good evening and bye.